You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some pie, and then you mix it in your body, shit it all out. You take some chocolate and some lobster and some eggs and some
Hello! Yo, what up? It's your boy, Tyler McVicker, the Passionate Gamer. We're doing voice only today. I don't know what's wrong with the webcam. It's not turning on. I have a backup buried in a box somewhere, but my room is messy and I look like a schlub, so let's take it on the chin and have a good show. Welcome, 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 everybody. My name is Tyler McVicker once again. Valve once called me the Passionate Gamer for claiming that Half-Life 3 wasn't real. True story. The reason I am called the Passionate Gamer is because back in 2022, I did a video about the future of the Half-Life franchise. And in it, I speculated about a lot of stuff that we knew to be true, related to Neon Prime, aka Citadel, aka Deadlock, and HLX, which at the time we did not know was meant to be a Half-Life 3. Well, I reported on that, right? The thing that I said, the only part of the video that was up to interpretation was speculation of any kind, was that Half-Life 3 was not something that Valve had any interest in attempting to develop. That went around the press, the mainstream press, IGN, PC Gamer, Eurogamer, PC Games, and, you know, those websites. And one of these sites, I think it was Eurogamer, reached out to Valve for comment. Someone at Valve responded. We don't know if it was Casey or Gabe Newell, but the response that they got, I'll pull up the quote. Let me pull up the quote here real quick. I should have had it pulled up, huh? Excuse me. Sorry. I'm drinking a sody. Quote, "It's good to view Valve News Network's content creator Tyler McVicker's coverage with a healthy dose of skepticism. We think it's important to reiterate that while Tyler is a passionate gamer, he has no inside information about what goes on at Valve. As you know, any department announcements on projects that we are or aren't working on will come directly from us. That was in response to me saying that they weren't working on Half-Life 3. I am not fucking joking. In fact, here's the video I made on it. On Half-Life 3 is that information comes from no inside information about what goes on at Valve. As you know, any important announcements on projects that we are or aren't working on will come directly from us. This is exactly what I stated at the beginning of the video with that preface. You know, Valve has the final say on what is real and what isn't real. Fine. The Citadel information comes from data mines, not inside information. So I don't know what you mean by that, Valve. And then the only quote-unquote legitimate inside information that I'm putting forward is that Valve isn't working on Half-Life 3. The only inside information that I'm claiming to have in this video is that Valve isn't working on Half-Life 3. As the quote says, as you know, any important announcements on projects that we are or aren't working on will come directly from us. Are y'all working on Half-Life 3? Because you are working on Citadel. We had employees accidentally leak the fact that you're working on Citadel. HLX is a tiny project, and I said that as such. That will likely just fall apart before you do anything with it. But I said you weren't working on Half-Life 3. Was I wrong? Oh my god, was I wrong? I was wrong! I was wrong. I was wrong. How about that? Hey everybody, it's Tyler McVicker, the passionate gamer, as Valve Software once called me, in response to me saying that they weren't making Half-Life 3. We should have taken that more seriously at the time, because it took a while for us to be able to understand what was going on, right? Because at the time, Citadel was known to be some kind of like Half-Life inspired thing. The difficult thing to be able to explain to just like the average viewer is how difficult it is to parse data mined leaked information. Because you'll find things in the code of Counter-Strike, Dota 2, Half-Life Alyx, etc., that points towards projects that you currently don't have access to, but you can't say for certain if what you're finding has anything to do with a current in-project, like Citadel, HLX, you know, a thing we don't know about, etc., until you can actually see one of those projects. So Deadlock comes out, right? I get access to Deadlock in May. The Deadlock playtest starts April 25th, 2024. This is the second Deadlock playtest that goes out to external testers. The first one took place a year prior, when they were doing a very similar thing with a much smaller group of people for Neon Prime. I had conversations, allegedly, with people who had participated in that first one, and that's where we learned about things like vehicles and the Skyhook thing, and, you know, go watch my old Neon Prime videos. But we also were speculating that there was this voxel-based destruction thing, this hair follicle thing, this dynamically, like, procedural generation on hair that we were attributing to what we were calling Citadel at the time, became Neon Prime, now known as Deadlock. We know that that's not in Deadlock. We're playing Deadlock, and Deadlock's great. Go play Deadlock if you can. Yeah, I don't know if you saw Gabe Follower's video, but that stuff is for HLX. And so now that we have... My man is just yapping. Lick my butt, man. So now that we have a point of reference for, you know, what... Do you know what I mean? Okay. So, instead of, how do I put this? Right. A couple of weeks ago, almost 4 weeks ago, I published a video about how it seemed as if whatever HLX was shaping up to be a non-VR Half-Life game where you play as a person wearing an HEV suit, assumed to be Gordon Freeman, where you jump between our reality and the border world Zen, and possibly a third reality. It has... I have raised the speculation that the border world that you would be exploring in this game is the same border world that you get just a tiny peek at the end of Half-Life Alyx. I'm trying to find a picture of that. If you haven't played Half-Life Alyx, I understand not everybody can afford a VR system. I do recommend getting a Quest 3. The install base for that nowadays is insane. Can't find a picture. Oh, wait, no, that's Black Mesa. No, that's the spoiler. Okay, I can't find it. But there's a scene where the G-Man is standing on what appears to be Zen fauna, or flora, excuse me. And that's the border world. That's part of what you will be exploring. Now, there is more context and there's more context and also more proof that we could get into, especially in relation to Super Mario Galaxy, that would be interesting. But we have a tendency of, unfortunately, being reported on anytime anything is said. And I've been working 8 to 10 hour days on every other day on my ongoing HLX reporting. So I would like to be able to, monetize that. When I talk about stuff on this stream, it will get reported somewhere. So, the real nitty-gritty data mine findings, we're going to wait for a video. But I will tell you, if you've ever played Prey 2006 or Super Mario Galaxy, Valve is shaping up to create a system that allows the player to not only explore the border world, but explore it in a way that has not been done before in the Half-Life franchise or anything on Source. So, there's that. This is letting off steam. This is my monthly question and answer podcast that we do. If you want to have a question answered, it's tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. Today is definitely one of the more popular episodes of this show that we have done. So if you send a question now, I did tell people to send questions in like early this morning. So if you send a question in now, we might not get to it by the end of the show. So there's that. If you would like to have a question answered right now, you can do a super chat. And I'm going to quickly go through the super chats that we've gotten up until this point. There have been 6. If you have a question that you would like to have answered right now, you can send a super chat. It supports the channel. It helps me out. And I really appreciate it. Got Cap Spike with the $10 saying, let's go. DOS Gamerman, £5 for the new webcam fund. Thank you. Stinky Doodle with the $10. Rumors the next Half-Life game will require the player to wear several biometric monitors because the game responds to increased heart rate, adrenaline, breathing, etc. Can you confirm this? I can't. This is the first time I'm hearing about this. Valve at one point was very interested in biometric data, utilizing that in a interactive medium. And then also, of course, brain implants. Gabe Newell is super into that. Years ago, we had this conversation on Letting Off Steam. Might have been 7 years ago with Gabe's eldest son, Gray, about Gabe's opinions and work into brain chips. However, it seems as if there was a bit of a, we don't want to do that here at Valve Software, and Gabe Newell broke that development off and turned it into another company called Starfish. So yes, there's definitely interest in some people at Valve Software to be able to have interactive software, interact with hardware that is connected to the human body and responds to it. But I don't think, I don't, there's nothing to suggest that HLX is going to be that. So this next one's from Star Wars Connoisseur for $9.99. These are super chats. We're getting through them as quickly as possible. If you have a question that wants answered right now, then send a super chat. If you were to say how confident you were that HLX is Half-Life 3 versus a spin-off like Half-Life Alyx, what percentage prize would you put it at? This is an interesting question. When I made the first video, the Half-Life 3 leaks you've been waiting for, we've been waiting for that video. When I made that video, I was about 50-50 on it being a spin-off or Half-Life 3. That video did well and has led to old sources coming back and talking to me, like verified people that I trust coming back and talking to me about stuff, and news sources attempting to give me information that in one circumstance I was able to triangulate with trusted sources information on. We're back to doing sources. Remember this? How confident am I now that HLX is Half-Life 3 versus a spinoff? It's a complicated question because it's a complicated answer. HLX is Half-Life 3. Absolutely. The only stipulation to that answer is, will they call it Half-Life 3 when they release it? Half-Life Alyx was never meant to be a Half-Life 3. It started development as like this Fallout-esque Alyx and dog exploration scrapping game thing, and it turned into HLVR, like Project Shooter, which was just like a lab mini game, and then it evolved over time. This, from the beginning, has always meant to continue from where Half-Life Alyx ended. And if you haven't played Half-Life Alyx, I'm sorry, slight spoilers, she's gone, son of a bitch, and there are unforeseen consequences. I knew it. All right, Gordon, we've got work to do. That was always in the cards. The team behind it have been very efficient and very excited, according to Gabe Newell, numerous times over the last 2 years, if you were to check interviews. It is always meant to continue from that point. Now, whether or not they have the confidence to release this game and call it Half-Life 3, completely up to them. And it is entirely dependent on if some of the more experimental systems that they're trying to do here come to fruition. I have a feeling that they would only be confident in calling it Half-Life 3 if it was as much of a technological leap forward as Half-Life 2 was back in its day. I hope that answers your question. Kyle the Tub with $5. I've been coming to your channel for Half-Life news for years. You better not be capping lol. Love you, Tyler. I'm not. This is a very interesting point in gaming history. Here's the thing, right? I have been doing this channel since July of 2011. And through that time, I have been, I'm going to say, beaten down by the greater Valve community when it comes to accuracy in reporting, labeling speculations as speculations, and trying to be as level-headed in the content of videos. Now, you have to clickbait titles if you want to make any money on YouTube, and this is my full-time job. But if you were to actually watch these videos, I'm fairly proud on how I go about getting this information out into the hands of viewers. This is the first time ever during my time as the Passionate Gamer, as Valve News Network, etc., that I have been confident enough to do a live stream with this title. Again, they may not call it Half-Life 3 in the end, but it is the third major game that you play as Gordon Freeman. And it is in development right now, and it has been in development since at least 2021. I don't know how else to say it. Like, there's some fucking wild stuff going on behind the scenes that I can't get into just yet. Okay, from Hijack. Oh wait, did I skip somebody? Oh, I skipped quite a few people. Okay, Femboy Disciples 2, amazing name. I can't fucking wait for Half-Life 3. Yippee uwu. Okay, Yam Cube with €2. Thank you. Car Scientist with $2 Canadian. Ricochet 2. It's not Ricochet 2. Apologies. The one Freeman, I heard it wasn't going to be named Half-Life 3. Is that true? They sent me 55 $. I think I've answered this already, but to reiterate, it is very possible that it's not called Half-Life 3. But that's entirely dependent on if they can make what they're trying to make work. It is the third major release that follows Gordon Freeman's story. Why are you certain that it's Half-Life 3 not a spin-off title? You're playing as Gordon Freeman. That much I know. Hijack279, thank you for the $2. Abdullah Alzafin with the 10 AED. Any news on the Deckard? Can we expect a vid? Yes, really cool. Really cool stuff happened after the last video where I talked about the Valve Deckard still being in development. For those unaware, the Valve Deckard is the next flagship VR piece of hardware that Valve is developing. Now, any news on it? Yes, but sometimes you learn things about stuff that are very obviously marked to have come from a specific place. And there hasn't been enough time or distance from that information to be able to properly wash it of identity marks, if that makes sense. So I have to be very careful with how I answer this question. And of course, also, whatever I say will end up on fucking IGN or PC Gamer in like 3 days. So, not everybody at Valve believes in VR, but the people that do really do and will fucking do anything to see the Deckard be released. Now, the question that no one's asking in relation to the Deckard, this isn't inside information, this is an opinion. Should Valve do the Deckard? Because in a world where Meta is, I'm sorry, they're killing it. Have you seen the number of people that play fucking Gorilla Tag? I mean, granted, it's all Gen Alpha. But Gorilla Tag and like Blade and Sorcery and Beat Saber, like the big quest games, they are killing it. So the question is like, okay, I don't know if the Deckard is standalone or tethered. I don't know. I also don't know, like, what software will even exist on it, because it seems like the entire ecosystem is on Quest right now, right? So how do you get more people to make games on Valve's ecosystem? And if all of Valve isn't behind it, how do you convince somebody that you'll stick with it? There's a lot of questions up in the air. But the news is, yes, it's still in development, and there are people that will do anything to make sure that it comes out. From Chubby Undy? Will Half-Life 3 contain advanced cockroach AI? I don't know. Dr. Zed, €2. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no? It's fine, but I don't actively go after it. Big Bomb, 654, $5. Is there any more insight you could share on what your sources said on the Deckard? Any info on the nature of Deckard's OS? I have nothing to share on the Deckard operating system whatsoever, and I've already said what I'm comfortable saying in relation to the Deckard. Thank you so much for the $5. $10 from Caleb Trapp. You hear a lot. Thank you for being a long-term viewer. I appreciate it, Caleb. Do you think HLX will have the Borealis involved? I honestly have no idea. So when you're doing information gathering on a game based almost entirely on data mining, you can explain mechanically what the game will be almost entirely. But when it comes to like thematic and story stuff, that's really hard to do. The Combine's in it. You know, we know that for certain. You go to the border world at some point, there's a gorilla, like a zombie headcrab Zen gorilla thing. I mean, it's not a gorilla. It's like, it's a thing that's kind of like a gorilla, you know. And then there's stuff that we have no fucking clue how it relates to. Feral man hacks? Feral man hacks. What the hell is a feral man hack? Is that something that behaves similarly to a man hack, but is entirely organically based? So it's just like an alien creature that lives in the border world that acts like a man hack? Or is it literally the AI of the man hack corrupted, and now it's gone feral and will attack anything? Is that what it is? We don't know. Any single morsel of hope for Half-Life 3 Deathmatch? God, I would hope so. But unfortunately, no, I have nothing on that, and I've not heard a single thing about it. I would love that. God fucking damn it. Okay, from Abby Nari for the $5. New strings from today's Deadlock patch. Char _ Alex _ soft body simulation and Char _ sim _ jiggle. Thoughts? If that's true, what the fuck? I don't think that's true. In fact, if I were to theorize, I don't think Alex is going to be in this game. I think it's going to be about rescuing Alex. So I don't think her jiggly bits are something that they're programming, to be honest. Oh my god, there are so many. Okay. Socko with the €5.99. Since Half-Life was always presented alongside a leap in gaming tech, what is the most likely candidate for HLX? Voxel Destruction? It's not VR. It is not VR. Voxel Destruction? Maybe. Partially, yes. Not across the whole board, but it seems like certain environments and buildings and things, yes. That's not the big leap. The big leap is procedural generation and replayability, and creating a system and a game and a mechanical state that adds a significant amount of replayability to the game without feeling like it's procedurally generated. I don't know how they're going to go about doing that, but it is something that they have on and off been experimenting with since like 2012. Whether or not that includes like generative AI based solely on their own work, whether or not that's, only small sections of the game, or maybe an entirely different cordoned off part of the game where you do quests for citizens, like rebels that turn into like entire small mini campaigns, so Gabe Follower reported that open world stuff is in the game. I don't think Gabe Follower meant, maybe it was a translation error. Maybe people just misunderstood. It's not open world. No. There are open-ended levels. Still very much linearly based, but certain levels can open up, and there's an area to explore and to do different things. And those side areas are the procedurally generated things, right? So I've seen people report Half-Life 3 is open world. No, it is not. That's a misunderstanding of the reporting, and I don't think it's Gabe Follower's fault in this case. But yeah, I think the big thing is trying to solve the Bethesda problem of infinite quests by creating a system that actually makes it look like, to an extent, they're handmade, right? Because like you play Starfield and you do the fucking mission board quests, and it's the same 3 things over and over again. They just send you to different locations. No, Valve wants to do that, but create it in a way where it feels part of the game, and it's seamless. Whether or not they can do it, I don't know. But that seems to be a goal based on all of the systems that have been in place and data mined for the last like 10 years. Console port? No idea. That's $2 from Jolly. I have no clue. And to be honest, it's not something I care much about researching. 55 Try from, I'm going to call you Anil. What do you think about the counter that Black Mesa website has at the bottom of the page tagged Lambda incident in its coding? Right. Okay, so in case you're unaware, there is a Black Mesa company, a legitimate company called Black Mesa, and it is a science institute of some sort, that has a countdown timer on their website to a thing called the Lambda incident. It's all made by a fan. It has nothing to do with Valve. It is literally just a fan who owns a company and made legally distinct Black Mesa. It has nothing to do with Valve. It has nothing to do with Valve, okay? $5 from Altron B. So what's going to happen with the Borealis? Are we going to forget about it now that we have to go get Alex back? Again, us having to go get Alex back is speculation. We know nothing about the thematics of the game. We know a lot about mechanics because that's something that can be data mined. Story beats are nearly impossible to leak through the methods that we use to collect information. Okay? Anytime I try and answer anything related to story, it's heavily steeped in speculation. Again, the only thing that I'm confident about, the Combine's in there somewhere, and you go to the border world. Okay, from Astra, $2 Canadian. Half-Life 3 will be in 4D, and Change How Gaming is in 4D. Well, that's a statement, and it is a nonsense statement. Captain Cortisol with $5. Do you think Half-Life 3 will be another linear experience or more open world? I think I've touched on this a bit. It's still linear, still very much linear, but certain levels or certain areas open up, right? Okay. Did you lose many sources after the HLA beta drama? $2. Derek first. I don't think so. No, I don't think it was anything happened in relation to that. I got tapped by Valve Legal following that. I had to sit in a meeting with the head lawyer of Valve Legal. But no, I don't think any sources changed. $50 from ARS. Is there any info on how Half-Life Alyx and HLX will relate story-wise? It's rumored to pick up directly after the end of Half-Life Alyx, the perspective jump at the end of Half-Life Alyx. I'm going through these as quick as I can. I apologize if we're not getting to the emails. These are still just super chats. Thank you so much for super chatting, by the way. It really helps the channel out. Okay. Okay. From Kyle the Tub, $5. Quick question. I may have missed it, but how do we know that you're playing as Gordon in the next title? HEV suit. You're wearing an HEV suit. You're using a crowbar. You're wearing an HEV suit. Even if they were to have melee for Alex Vance, they would not give her a crowbar. They said so much. They said as much on the final hours of Half-Life Alyx. Too many markers that are Gordon Freeman specific. Oh, and also they have stated that if it's a PC type, like if it's a non-VR traditional PC mouse and keyboard first-person shooter, that's Gordon Freeman. Do you love Gordon Freeman? From HL356, €2. Sure. I don't know him personally. Abinari with the $5. Reports from ARM suggesting custom chiplets architecture for the Valve Decker that optimizes soft body jiggle simulation. You see, that was a better troll because the first half, I was completely there. Oh shit!
Any idea about guns?
Any
Revolver. R3. Will Grave Gun return?
Okay.
Have suit upgrade to Mark 6 and be changed again?
Yes. Okay, I'm turning off Twitch donations. The alert box from Twitch is still on. I apologize. I'm not answering that question because we have to go in order. Weapons? Not really. HEV suit Mark 6? Yes. Do you think Half-Life 3 has the potential to be as big of a release as GTA 6? No. Has time cooled the gaming community on Half-Life? Time has cooled the gaming community on Half-Life. Far more people. Significantly more people know and care about the Grand Theft Auto franchise than the Half-Life franchise. Half-Life is predominantly a PC player, a PC gaming thing. Whereas Grand Theft Auto is a universal. Everybody knows. Even if you don't play games, you know what Grand Theft Auto is, right? Half-Life is the gamer's game, if that makes any sense, right? It's beloved, but it's beloved by people that care about video games, right? Because it's been 20 years since the last massive release. Half-Life Alyx was good, but it was kind of playing to the audience, if that makes any sense. Derek first, $2. Anything on Left 4 Dead 3 mentioned in the bug tracker? Yes, but any references to Left 4 Dead 3 are remnants of the fact that much of Source 2 early development was built for Left 4 Dead 3. And because of that, you find a lot of stuff related to Left 4 Dead 3 just sitting around. So in the latest video, there was Left 4 Dead 3 being seen in the bug reporter thing, right? Here's the thing about that. That's been there since like 2016. Like, Left 4 Dead 3 was canceled in like between 2015 or 2017. It's gone. It's not happening. At least not anytime soon. From Duty, can you say happy birthday to my friend? I'm not saying that. I apologize, but every time I see a name that I don't know, I always think somebody's trying to get me to say a racial slur without my knowledge. But happy birthday to Duty's friend. All right, from Rodrigo, what will/would be the main technology leaps that would justify calling HLX Half-Life 3? Procedural generation, voxel-based destruction, probably AI. Remind us what is reported to make the Deckard a next step in VR, like what has been reported about it. Right. I'm not as well versed in the hardware capabilities of the Deckard itself as much as a friend of mine, sadly it's Bradley, is. If you want to learn about the Valve Deckard from the foremost expert on the topic, I recommend checking out my friend Sadly It's Bradley's YouTube channel. Sadly It's Bradley. That will answer any questions that you have about the Deckard. So go check Sadly It's Bradley out. $2 from 5AIV. There's no question there, but thank you. From Skill Chill, 100 SEK. Tyler, my dude, sorry for being late. Yeah, was in the bath. Yeah, Half-Life 3 is still in development. Yeah, it is. Yes. If so, good news. Yeah, maybe we get Hunt Down the Freeman too. Yeah, JK. Have a good one. Yeah. Yeah. It won't be Hunt Down the Freeman 2. Although, if Valve wants to be the most, like, fucking based company in the world, if they make reference to, like, Mitchell, if Valve wants to be the coolest games company that, like, very obviously has their ear to the ground, if they make a Hunt Down the Freeman reference canonically, holy shit, I would lose my mind. You know what I mean? Like, that'd be so fucking funny if that happened. All right. What do you want from Oh, wait, hold on. From HL356, will Half-Life 3 contain Skibidi Toilet? That's €2. Well, technically, of course, because Skibidi Toilet just is Valve assets. Like, that toilet is from Half-Life 2, and those heads are from Half-Life 2, right? So, yeah, I mean, like, the G-Man is a major character in Skibidi Toilet, and odds are the G-Man will be in Half-Life 3, so the younger generation will see Half-Life 3 and be like, "Oh my god, it's the thing from Skibidi." You know what I mean? So, because again, and it's something that people understand, a lot of younger kids' point of reference for, you know, the Half-Life 2 Citizen models or the G-Man is Skibidi Toilet. So, Half-Life to, like, my 10-year-old nephew, is the Skibidi Toilet game, right? Eli Caps, $2, same director from Alex, unknown. The game director last time was Robin Walker, and the rumor is Robin's working on Deadlock. We don't know, though. Mr. Nerd Guy, $5. How do you think Valve handles the ending of Half-Life Alyx for those that didn't play HLA because of VR? Well, the same way they handled the ending of Episode 2 at the beginning of Half-Life Alyx. They just fucking spell it out. Like, the first 5 seconds of Half-Life Alyx is, following the death of Eli Vance. And it's like, okay. All right. Jesus Christ. Fine. They'll just tell you. They'll just be like, this happened. Okay. Now you know. Okay. Tay Jelly Lord. That's a very millennial name, my man. $4.99. I think procedural generation is an amazing idea for Half-Life 3. I think Half-Life 1 and 2 are great, obviously, but they tend to do the exact thing every time. Yeah, and I think that's something they're trying to alleviate, because they probably aren't planning on making another Half-Life game after this forever. You know what I mean? So let's make the ultimate one that can be replayed, you know? Eagle, any news on returning characters? No. Again, very little can be extrapolated from data mine strings in relation to the story. And unless a source had the ability to play through the entire fucking thing, which they don't, there's very little opportunity to learn about the story. Why did the data mining imply HLX isn't VR? This is from Elborn. In my opinion, it feels risky to go back to traditional FPS from such an amazing VR experience as Alyx. What gives it away? Okay, so Valve is very much in the past when it comes to VR development. Up until the very last minute, Half-Life Alyx was a teleport-only VR game. Smooth locomotion was not added into the game until, like, February. And the game came out in fucking March. Every time you ever hear anybody talk about movement or locomotion in the development history of Half-Life Alyx, it's in the context of teleport. Valve has always and will probably forever be stuck on the never move the player thing. And that's why they look at things like, you know, Gorilla Tag and shit with disbelief, because it's like that's the opposite of their way of developing things. So what gives it away? Well, Valve is very much a never move the player VR developer. And HLX has insane first-person vehicle simulation, which you can't do in VR without moving the player. And this other thing that I don't want to speak too much on, but if you were to do it in VR, people would throw up and fall over. And in fact, they tried to do it in VR and reported that people threw up and fell over. The younger generation that plays Gorilla Tag would probably be able to handle it just fine. I could handle it just fine. But the general, consumer base isn't really there, and they'd get sick based on what they're doing. From Dan Ida, $5. Regardless of what you found in data mines, what would you personally like to see in HLX/Half-Life 3? Great question. What would I like to see? I'd like it to be a long game, like Half-Life 2 or Half-Life 1 in terms of length. So you're looking at like 15 to 20 hours. I would like to see it... Actually, you know what? But even past the length, the number one thing I want out of this game is for it to do more to the canon, the aesthetics, the characters, etc., to the Half-Life franchise that Half-Life 2 did for Half-Life. Because before Half-Life 2, Half-Life, it was Black Mesa. It was Gordon Freeman. It was the scientists. It was headcrabs and zombies, right? Half-Life 2 comes around, and it's a completely different thing. Now you've got the Combine, City 17, Breen, the Gravity Gun, Alex Vance, Eli Vance, Dr. Isaac Kleiner, those kind of things, right? So for a Half-Life 3, I don't want to see them just retread Half-Life 2 stuff. I understand why they had to do that for Alyx, but for a 3, I want to see some new shit. I want to see some wild new shit that never been seen before in this franchise. And they tried to do that, bits and pieces in Alyx. You got Russell, you got Jeff, but I want to see them go, like, hard on it. I want to see, like, in the same way that people looked at City 17 and been like, that's not Half-Life, I want to see that kind of jump, thematic jump, aesthetic jump. You know what I mean? That's what I want more than anything. And if I were to pick a mechanical thing, I'm really interested in seeing what they do with procedural generation. Yeah. Because they've been working on it since, like, 2013. So, Master Crazy RJ with the $10. Do you think Valve will skip over the 20th anniversary of Half-Life 2? Nope. No, I honestly think they're going to be doing something for the Half-Life 2 20th. Thank you for the $10. Jammer Sunify, the $20. No questions here. Have a meal on me. Thanks for covering Valve's enigmatic actions over all these years. I really appreciate that. Thank you. From Stinky Doodle, $5. Where's Barney? Thinking about Gaben's soft body jiggle physics. Gaben's lost a lot of weight. Have you seen him lately? He looks good for his age. Where's Barney? Again, I don't know about thematic or story beats. From Snowy, 11.99 PLN. How realistic will HLX be? I don't know. I think Half-Life Alyx is a good starting point for how Half-Life X HL3 will look. Obviously, it had to be toned back because VR performance overhead, but I think the art style of HLX is a good frame of reference, if that makes any sense. Josh, £1.99. When do we expect to see HLX? Last quarter 2025, first half 2026. for a release, if I were to guess, with an announcement in 25, I think. That's entirely speculation, though. I have nothing to point towards an actual release timeline. From Stelio Raider, $50 ARS. Sup, Tyler? Since I haven't been able to keep up with the HLX/3 news, what's the most dynamic or interesting feature mechanic you have found? Either the Super Mario Galaxy shit or the procedural generation, in my opinion. But I'm not done data mining, and I will never be done data mining. I'm starting to find out. Cave Johnson, A799, check your mail. The message from Plastic Peanut Butter. I can't say it all in a super short super chat. All right, Plastic Peanut Butter. Let's see. That was really slick of you to tell me to check the email. I'm not going to do that anymore, but this is smart. This was very smart of you. Is it from somebody named Plastic Peanut Butter? Or is it under a different name? Check your mail for the message from Plastic Peanut Butter. Yeah, okay, let's just search Plastic Peanut Butter. Nothing. Are you sure you sent it under Plastic Peanut Butter? I'm sorry, man. That was really slick, but I don't think I see anything here. Maybe just look up the word plastic. No. I'm sorry, man. I don't know which one is yours, I don't think. I apologize, man. Yeah. 5 euros from Jesus from Space. You've been around a while. Do you think Valve has or is letting go of the idea the next Half-Life game has to be revolutionary? Do you think the fans won't be satisfied? I mean, they've let go of it a little bit. They crossed the wilderness with the release of Half-Life Alyx. But, I mean, obviously, if they're going to call something the next major Half-Life game, it's got to be pushing the envelope in some regard. You know what I mean? Okay, 20 knock from Gray Raven 91. Will they finish the story if this is the last Half-Life game? I don't know if it's the last Half-Life game, but it's definitely going to be the last one for a while, you know, because you're going to see a lot of the people working on it retire after it comes out, you know, because this is definitely the kind of game that's like, okay, we did Half-Life 3, I can finally retire. So who knows what Valve will look like after this happens. Tom, 5 euros. How do you, or 5 pounds, excuse me. How sure are you that HLX won't be scrapped or changed entirely like Deadlock was? I'm not 100% certain on that. Valve has scrapped finished games. Nearly finished games. But this is so far along. It's the furthest along a project attempting to do this has ever been. You know. And, yeah, I'd say you've got like a 20% chance of it rebooting or being shelved at this point. Again, that's a guess. That's entirely my speculation. All right, Ninja Locks 2, $4.99. Is there any indication on what stage of development the game may be in? Or at least at the time the leaks occurred. Far enough along to have external playtesters. That's what we know. And that would, I mean, I don't know. Definitely past the halfway mark. Definitely past the halfway mark, and maybe getting to like the 3/4 mark. You know, you've still got another year or year and a half before it's out, I would say. Again, speculation. From Harris, 5 euros. Would you love to see Half-Life 3? Any information on a new source engine? Thanks for the data mine. Oh, would love to see Half-Life 3. Any new information on a new source engine? Right, well, it's Source 2. It's the same engine that, you know, Dota 2, Artifact, Underlords, Steam VR Home, Half-Life Alyx, Deadlock, CS2 is running on. And they're just building off of that. So it's not a new engine. It's the same engine, but just expanded. And, of course, like, the new features of that engine would be the things that we've been talking about, like procedural generation, voxel-based destruction, dynamic hair shit, stuff like that. Can you explain what to do to stop a gay Ben? I forget. Hold on. How do you stop a gay Ben? To stop a gay Ben? Take control and press the gay Ben. In addition, to stop a gay Ben, take control and press the gay Ben. Yeah. Let's just listen to the little bit of it.
To stop a gay Ben, take control and press the gay Ben.
That's what you do.
Gay Ben.
Gay Ben. Gay Ben. The true citizen never counts to 3. Do you think there'll be multiplayer? I would love for there. I honestly no idea. No clue. But I'd love to see it. Do you think the next game should still have bunny hopping? I personally find Source Engine FPS movement to be the most satisfying. I think Valve is acutely aware of how good their movement tech is. A lot of that is based on the fact that it's built off of Quake, you know, in the long term. But, I mean, have you played Deadlock? Say what you will. That movement is schmovement. So, will there be bunny hopping? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't see them removing bunny hopping, but then again, does the movement from source to source 2, like, break that? Because it's an entirely different physics engine. I don't know. I don't think they would go out of their way to remove it. I think they do like the many different ways that the audience expresses themselves using their software. But I don't know if Source 2 currently supports something along those lines, if that makes any sense. Okay, we're almost done with the super chats. Thank you guys so much for this. Holy shit, it means so much. Okay, from Mass Ben. Hi, it's 5 euros. What's the most head-scratching string that you've come across in the current data mining? Well, okay, there's 2 ways of answering that question. The most interesting head-scratch would be Feral Manhack. But, like, if we were to talk about, like, technical head-scratching, it would be, like, something that nobody would even give a shit about. Because it's, like, 95% of what you find when you're data mining has to do with, like, really low-level technical stuff that requires significantly more digging to get any context on what it means mechanically for the game. Let me think about that for a second. You know, I'm just going to answer Feral Manhacks because I can't think of anything that would be interesting at all to answer that question. Because most of what we're finding, we can attribute to something. And the other stuff, you could speculate has something to do with, like, procedural generation. Right? Because, like, the thing that comes to mind is smart props, right? But smart props are just a system to allow dynamic placement of entities, which in itself lends itself to procedural generation. I don't want to pull up my notes because I don't want to accidentally leak my notes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Feral Man, like, what the hell is a Feral Manhack? What's a Zen Gorilla? It's a reference to the Half-Life Alyx line, and it's probably a Zen alien that looks a lot like a gorilla or is a zombie gorilla being controlled by a head crab. I don't know. Okay, so another $2.99 from Cave Johnson. It's Plastic Peanut Butter 8. I sent you on Gmail. Okay, do me a favor. Send it again right now. Plastic Peanut Butter 8, and make sure you're sending it to tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. Just send it again right now. Right? tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. tylernewsnetwork@gmail.com. Excuse me, sorry. I'm drinking a sody. And I am going to legitimately sit here and wait for that email to come in. Because, again, nothing related to plastic peanut butter is showing up here. And I apologize. I'll look in my spam folder. Oh, maybe you ended up in the spam folder. There's a lot here. Okay, hold on. No, you weren't here. Oh, it's right here. Oh, okay. So the email is Plastic Peanut Butter 8, but your name is Del Coager. You're using the engineer name. And it's an angry email. That's a lot of work to send an angry email. Okay, let's read the whole thing. Two questions. Number one, for the misinformation and speculation on Half-Life Alyx. You've misled community members in multiple ways. First of all, using a clickbait title that spiraled into community members and reputable games journalists believing that Left 4 Dead 3 was a real title in development now. Secondly, showing emails from Mark Laidlaw on stream were not fact and purporting them as such as shown by Valve in their recent AMA. Some Valve members weren't able to tell their families about the project. What makes Tyler think Mark would he forthright about his involvement? I understand you had no way of knowing this was the case, but at the same time, it proves that the community will believe anything that is shown to them by you. Your sources and information were not very accurate, and I would go as far to say that any information that you should put out on your channel should be vetted and verified by photo/video footage or Valve themselves. It's frustrating when this community takes your word as gospel because it is clearly not. Question 2. Do you think they have a picture of your face on a dartboard at Valve HQ? Okay, well, to answer question 2, if what you're saying on question 1 is true, there's no reason to have my face on a dartboard at Valve HQ. Number 1, Left 4 Dead 3 was real. It absolutely did exist. And they went out and said it didn't, and then told Jeff Keighley during the final hours of Half-Life Alyx that it was real. They used that opportunity to throw me under the bus and discredit me. Left 4 Dead 3 was in full development for years and was canceled around 2017. It was a nearly finished title. That is on record. So I don't know what you're talking about in relation to that. Secondly, showing emails from Mark Laidlaw on stream that were not fact and purporting them as such by Valve in their recent AMA. Okay, so what you're talking about is related to the exit of Mark Laidlaw. For the longest time, it was reported through information that was public and was not given to me through a source. It was through interviews that Mark gave shortly before Epistle 3 that there was changing cultures. And Mark was kind of seen as the old man that had these old ideas and didn't fit with the current culture, and so he left. He did want to make a follow-up Half-Life game, but at the time it seemed like nobody wanted to do it, and so he left. Do I know every intricacy in relation to Mark Laidlaw and his relation to Valve Software? No. Did I purport that I knew far more than I did at the time? Yes. I think following Half-Life Alyx, I had a bit of hubris and ego, and I let that take advantage of me. However, that was like 4 years ago, and I have grown a lot since then. I do take issue with you saying that my sources in relation to Half-Life Alyx weren't very accurate. They were. That part I disagree with. You make great points in some of the issues that I made in 2019 and 2020. Okay. My sources for Half-Life Alyx were spot on. I mean, come on. I called Alex Vance in 2018. You know, you can watch a video that I put out like 3 months before the announcement trailer went live, and I called almost everything in the game. Come on. So I don't know what to tell you about that one. I appreciate you really trying hard to get this read. I appreciate your opinion. You are entirely entitled to it, and I do completely agree that people tend to take what I say far more seriously than they should. I am just one asshole from Ohio whom has made it his life to try and understand this very strange company and has had some successes with things like Deadlock and Half-Life Alyx and Underlords, etc., and fucking Danger Zone and stuff like that. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I make sure to tell people that unless Valve says something to be true, take everything I say with a grain of salt. The only time I'm not doing that is right now. They are absolutely making the next Half-Life game to like the next major non-VR Half-Life game. That is in development right now and has been for 3 years. I will stand on that. But I understand. I completely agree with a lot of what you're saying here. I completely appreciate your opinion. I disagree with some of it, but I hope that I was able to hit most of the points. Let me just... some Valve members weren't able to tell their families about the project. What makes Tyler think Mark would be forthright about his involvement? Well, he wasn't directly forthright with any involvement on anything. He spoke more generally on the desire to do something and that desire not really being matched by any of the colleagues and feeling like an odd one out and like they've aged out of the culture. We're making a game, not writing a book, old man, that kind of thing. Now, did I misunderstand aspects of that? Absolutely. I was corrected during that AMA. You're correct. But yeah, I mean, people were telling their families about the project. Valve did playtests with their families openly and vehemently. That's wrong. So I don't know what to tell you. But that is, to the best of my ability, a response to everything you're saying. Right? I hope that helps. Okay. There's still more super chats coming in. Guys, you don't have to... I've made enough money today. You can... I really appreciate it. We can stop. I appreciate it. Where did I stop? Okay. Stelio Raider, 50 ARS. I'm sorry, but what Mario Galaxy stuff? Also, you should add no story stuff text, perhaps. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's change the font to something more fun. No. No thanks. Not that. Oh yeah, this. Yeah. There you go. What Mario Galaxy stuff? Okay. Come here. Psst, come here. Hey. Don't tell anybody because they're gonna put it in PC Gamer or whatever. But you know in Mario Galaxy how some of the levels like Good Egg, Gusty Garden, you know, they had like spherical planetoids that had their own gravitational pull, right? And you could jump between them and the gravity would change based on which spherical planetoid you were closest to, you know? Now imagine that in first person, which they did in a game called Prey from 2006. Imagine that that's part of the exploration of the border world of Zen, or whatever the off-world section. It could end up being something that isn't Zen, but I think it's Zen. Okay? Don't tell anybody. Just, it's our secret, Stelio, okay? Alright, sorry, I had to use the bathroom. No one was talking. Okay? Don't, yeah, I was in the bath. Nothing happened. So. What's going on? €5 from... I'm going to call you 201. I don't want to mess up your name. If the horror they had in Half-Life Alyx was too much because it was VR and had to reduce it, do you think they'd add it back now? Yes. 100%. Yeah, and also, like, oh my god. I'm sorry, I just got a text. Alright, sorry. Some of the artists, Tristan Reedford's a good example, were kind of babies about it. No shade or anything, but they were open about, like, head crabs jumping towards you in VR they hated, and they terrified them. I don't think they really toned it back too much. I mean, have you played the Jeff chapter? You know, like, they had a good horror element to it. I do think it could have been more scary in places. But then again, people talk about Half-Life like it's a scary thing. It's not. It's not. It's got moments, but it's no fucking Resident Evil, you know. It would be cool to see a bit more of that, but I mean, again, I have no idea. It would be cool. Yes, they would obviously push the envelope in terms of like scaring the player more if they don't have a headset strapped to their head, you know? Noah Klein, $4.99. That rhymed. Isn't X used for anniversary stuff too? No. Could HLX be some update for the Half-Life 2 anniversary? No. I doubt it's a Source 2 port. I doubt it's a Source 2 port as well. Yeah, no, it's not. HLX was used at some point as the file format for Half-Life 2 save games, but I don't ever recall it being used as a moniker for, what do you call it? Like, anniversary-related content. No. Thank you for the dono. Dingus the Wingus with the £5 sterling. Hey, Tyler, would you like to see some of the cut or retired creatures in HLX? Maybe cremators, bull squids, or hound eyes? More than anything, I would love to see Valve do the cremators. They tried to bring them in HLA, and they didn't. They did concept art for him, and they didn't. I want to fight a cremator. Please. The best community-made cremator I've ever faced off against is in my favorite source mod. My favorite source mod, which is Raising the Bar Redux. Shoutouts RTBR. From Jurgen Phillips, $9.99, $10 donation to send hate mail. That's crazy. Anyway, here's 10 more. I wouldn't consider that hate mail. I'd consider that legitimate criticism that I should be able to take on the cheek like an adult. And it's absolutely legitimate criticism, and I completely appreciate how they went about doing it. Cave Johnson, $14.99. Also, I love your stuff. I love you too, man. I appreciate your If that was you that wrote it, I appreciate your criticism wholeheartedly, and I'll take it to heart. Oops a Daisy with the £5. I heard you flip-flop on if Valve thinks HLA was a success or failure. You've said both different points in the last 4 years. Thoughts? Yep, I have. So, in some ways, it was successful because it did what it set out to achieve. Make the best damn VR game that they could. And it's great. But it failed in that... Well, okay, let me answer your question in the form of a question. Is Steam VR just as, if not more successful than the Quest? Did Half-Life Alyx have any legitimate impact on the success of Meta's VR endeavors and showing that standalone VR isn't powerful enough to be good? Because that was the ultimate goal. And in relation to that, it failed. Because the install numbers on the Quest 2 alone are insane. Does that make sense? It succeeded as a game. In a vacuum, Half-Life Alyx absolutely succeeded, right? However, sorry, that was my phone. In terms of the greater industry and people playing on the Valve Index or the HTC Vive versus the Quest, it is night and day how successful the Quest is compared to the Steam VR headsets. In fact, if the install base that existed on the Quest was on Steam VR, something like Gorilla Tag would be in the top 10 of Steam. Right? So, Demo Apple asking Tyler opinions on trans women. Trans rights are human rights, you ding-dong. What are you doing? Come on. They're people. Treat them like people. What the fuck's wrong with you? Unless that's what you were trying to get at. Trans rights. All right. Maybe because the Quest isn't $1,000. That's definitely a plus. They're selling that shit at a loss, whereas the Valve was not. But, I mean, hey, like, when Half-Life Alyx came out, the big thing was, like, am I really going to spend $1,000+ to get the experience that Valve wants me to have? No! That was at the fucking start of the pandemic. Nobody could fucking afford that. Are you kidding? All right, from Paul Bellino, $10. If you believe Half-Life 3 is at least a year away, what about the Deckard, before or after that? After. Haters will hate. It's not hate. It's criticism. Don't let anybody get to you. I don't. I've been doing this for a very long time, and if you go read things like 4chan or Kiwi Farms, I have much thicker skin than somebody giving me legitimate criticism. Thanks for all your work. No problem. And Dr. Hotel Mario with the $2. Isn't it too soon to claim Half-Life 3 is happening for real? No. No, I don't think so. No, I had some really enlightening conversations with some people that I really trust. And I am the most confident and excited about the future of Valve than I have ever been. Ever. Because when Half-Life HLVR was going on, you know, the whole time I was reporting on it, it was still going on in the back of my head where it was like, yeah, it's VR, though. Like, it's a VR exclusive. That's not Half-Life 3. This is just a traditional-ass game. This is what everybody wants. I am the most excited for the future of Valve than I have ever been. Well, probably since I was hyped for Portal 2, but I was a kid, you know. I was 13, 14. I was 14 when Portal 2 came out, and I couldn't sleep the week before that game came out. I was so oh my god. The hype cycle for Portal 2 is probably my favorite gaming memory. I mean, it's the reason why I started a YouTube channel, you know? Because I wanted to, like, give people updates on the Portal 2 DLCs, which there were meant to be multiple. There's only ever one plus the map editor, but that's whatever. That's fine. They got burnt out. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah. I don't know what to tell. Like, I hope that answers your question. But without me going out and saying, hey, this person, whom is very trustworthy because they're this person, and also this person, who is this person, I'm the most confident and excited about the future of Valve than I've ever been. They're kicking ass. Deadlock is awesome. Have you played it lately? Oh my god, it's so good. Who do you think would voice Alex in Half-Life 3 if she were to appear? Merle or... I'm not going to comment on that. Merle's a good friend. I love Merle. And I think the other actress did a fantastic job. But Merle is always Alex in my book. And if I could afford it, I would pay Merle to redub the game just for me. If I was like Elon Musk rich, I would call up Merle's agent and be like, how much would it be to pay Merle to just read all these lines? You know, I love Merle. She's so fucking awesome. So I can't comment on like who they would pick. I don't know, but Merle is my Alex, if that makes sense. In the same way, if they like got somebody other than Mike Shapiro to play Barney or the G-Man, I'd be pretty pissed, you know. And then the other question, do you know if any of the other HL2 cast will be back? Well, it could be assumed that Eli will be there. And if Eli's going to be there, then I would assume Kleiner would be there. Barney, like, he left with the rebels on the train in episode 1. Who knows what the fuck he's up to? But I'd love to see... I would cry. I would cry. I mean, I cry to Half-Life. Like, that's known. I really should have uploaded my reaction to the end of the game because somebody else did, and that video has like 800,000 views. But if we had a scene where it was Barney having a heart-to-heart with Gordon and like telling him about what's been going on, I would cry. I miss Barney. I miss Barney a lot. Yeah. Lambda Core with the $4.99. Guys, we got to get to the emails. You don't have to keep giving me money. I appreciate it, but you don't have to keep giving me money. How much more feature complete is Source 2 compared to when HLA launched? Oh, it's night and day. It's significantly more feature rich. Source 2 was feature complete when Half-Life Alyx came out because like it was a shipped engine. That's feature complete. They just keep building on top of it, and just so much cool stuff is added, right? We've already discussed at length some of this mechanical stuff, you know, procedural generation, voxel-based instruction, that kind of shit. But honestly, it's insane just how much they're... Because it's like at the same time, You've got Deadlock, doing a whole bunch of cool stuff with that. And then, alongside that, you've got the Dota 2 team releasing like WarioWare levels of mini games, that fighting game, the shoot 'em up game, the match 3 game. They're doing a bunch of shit in Source 2. They're really demonstrating that not only is Source 2 a viable and malleable engine, but the tools are legendary. Everybody that works in Source 2, whether that be a community member or somebody who worked at Valve and has lived to tell the tale and can talk about it not under an NDA, has said the Source 2 tool set is so much better to use than Unity, Unreal, Godot, anything like that. And so it's like Valve currently seems to have no interest in releasing like a full software development kit for Source 2, even though they said they would do so like 10 years ago. But if they did, following HLX's launch and Deadlock's launch with all of the features and tools that they have, dude, you would have like full AAA games made in Source 2. You absolutely would. Because of just how efficient, intuitive, dependable, reliable, useful those tools are, right? It's insane. Talk to anybody that works in that kind of stuff. Yeah. All right. King Sombra with the $2. Has the Microsoft buyout influenced id at all? So you might be new here, so you probably don't know my policy on id questions. id Software is the only company that I have lost my journalistic integrity on. What does that mean? I'm under NDA with id Software because of a long-term, multi-year project that I have been working on with Hugo Martin for a long time now. And so I am privy to just little tiny bits and pieces of information in relation to id Software that I will never share because Hugo Martin is my dad and I never want to get him in trouble. That said, I don't think I've ever spoken to anybody about the Microsoft buyout ever. And so in my personal opinion, which is not influenced by any of the companies or people that work there, I don't think so, but I'm not confident in that. I don't know. Okay? Like, Hugo is my dad, and I don't want to get him in trouble, and I love id Software just as much, if not more, than Valve Software. I probably love them more because they actually like me, and they're willing to work with me, and they listen to my ideas, and they answer my emails and shit. Yeah, they're awesome. You guys like the id vaults? I like those. LC Habibi, $2. Valve lifted its triphobia, fear of number 3. It was never really a fear of number 3. It was a fear of disappointing the fans, in a perfectionistic tendency. But that was lifted with the release of Half-Life Alyx. Half-Life Alyx was a transformative title for them. From Higata. $27.99 Canadian. You do awesome work. Thanks for all your investigation work. I really appreciate that. Sometimes it gets to be a bit much. Sometimes you don't feel like doing it. I was burnt out for like 2 years. The last 2 years have been hard. Not hard. People are suffering. Don't say hard. But like, difficult-ish, you know? Sometimes it feels like a thankless job. But then stuff like this happens, and then you realize you're just being a big baby. But, I put in significantly more hours than if I were to have like a real full-time position somewhere. Because I'm grinding to be able to buy a house one day and have kids. Because, like, let's not get it twisted. My number one goal in life is to be a father. I would give up all of this for my kids, whom I don't even have yet. But, I want to be a dad, so, I'm bumping and grinding nowadays to be able to save as much as I can so that I can give my kids, my hypothetical future children, a better life than I had, even though I had a decent childhood, you know. But I appreciate that. I really do. It means way more than you probably understand hearing stuff like that. So thank you. Stelio Raider with the 200 ARS. Thanks for answering the chat's question, Tyler. It's nice to see this as a longtime viewer. Final question might be a bit unrelated. As a tired TF2 fan on hiatus for personal reasons, any news on TF2? A love from Argentina. You know, that's the longest time it has taken for that question to be answered. This question is always asked on every episode of this show I have ever done, and I've been doing the show on and off for like 7 years. We're an hour and 21 minutes into this show, and we finally got the TF2 question. And the amazing thing is, yes, there is. So obviously everybody knows that they're actually working on comic issue 7, right? The rumor is that Valve is toying with the idea of hiring a community team to make like a fully featured update again. They were dipping their toes in the water with this last summer update. The rumor was they were going to possibly work with like, I forget what it was called, but it was like a Jungle Inferno inspired community thing. There was a rumor that Valve was kind of talking to them, but it didn't really pan out. It seems like the people in charge, which would be like Eric Smith and the like, are dipping their toes into the idea of doing major content updates, but directed by the community. That is entirely speculation. Well, no, it's not. It's based on rumor and hearsay. It's unconfirmed. It's unsubstantiated. If IGN goes and runs this, they didn't listen long enough for context. But the rumor is they're dipping their toes into possibly working with like community members in a larger capacity, if that makes any sense. Will it pan out? Who knows? But you're going to be getting like summer winter updates until Eric Smith fucking dies, probably, and even after that. So who knows, you know? I will say that Team Fortress 2 is a very interesting beast in that there is definitely interest to continue working on it. That's like almost nostalgic. It's like a nostalgic driven thing, if that makes any sense. In that, like, the vast majority of the people that would have the opportunity to work on Team Fortress 2, right? They would not have been there through the bulk of TF2's life, let alone its development cycle. How do I put this? So, like, a lot of the people that want to put some effort and time into it are looking at it as a fan, and then some people who have power are looking at it as like, yeah, I love that game. That game's great. You know, maybe we'll do something. Maybe one day we'll do something. And now that we know that Comic Issue 7 is in proper development, even though right now everybody's kind of working on Deadlock, the people that would do this kind of thing are working on Deadlock. And now that I think about it, I feel like I skipped a person's question because I remember seeing someone asked about Deadlock. Did I skip someone's question? Hold on, let me scroll through this. I'm positive someone asked me if they were making like a Deadlock visual novel. Did someone ask that? I feel like... Okay. I guess to answer that question, the artists that would be working on arting Comic Issue 7 are currently arting Deadlock stuff. So for those unaware, Deadlock's story, at least partially, is going to be fed through visual novels, fully voice-acted visual novels that you unlock through play. The system that existed in the beta, or in the early alpha that people had access to, that they then ripped out after Gabe Follower started sharing it around, is you would get these like credits that you would earn through playing games, winning games, doing well in games, and then those credits could only be spent on unlocking chapters of a story. And then based on the decisions that you make in those stories, because it's like a choose your own adventure thing, you unlock certain cosmetics. At least that's the idea. And currently there's 4 or 5 in development where it's like Lady Geist, Abrams, Dynamo, Holiday, and Shiv, I think. Where it like explains not only their backstory, but their like relationship to the universe as a whole. And it's really, really cool. The entirety of Lady Geist's is in the game. It was in the game. All the voice acting is still in the game. You can go look at it. And it's really well done. Although a lot of it will need to get updated because some of it references like old character names. Some of it still has some residual Neon Prime stuff in it. So you give it time. But like the people who would be doing the art for Comic Issue 7 are currently busy with Deadlock. But once Deadlock is out, which I don't know when that'll be, but I think it'll, I don't know, within the year, they'll be able to put more of their time towards Comic Issue 7. I know they're probably doing back and forth as much as they can, but the main concern right now is Deadlock. And I mean, Deadlock is popping off, man. People fucking love it. And that's crazy because like Uncle Dane and a bunch of YouTubers, before they even Uncle Dane got to play it, but it seemed like Uncle Dane was upset more from a standpoint of how dare they work on another game when TF2 is in such a starry state. But now it seems like TF2 is in a better state. Like they did fix it to an extent. I've been busy with data mining and Deadlock. I haven't really played much. And then there were other people that didn't even have access that made like really angry videos about how Deadlock is a terrible idea and it's not going to be good and nobody's going to like it. Now that the public can talk about it and a whole fuck ton of people are in, everybody's like, hey, this game could be great. Like, obviously it's in dev. A lot of the art is temporary and stuff is changing all the time. But I mean, even Star, like TF2 Star _ made an incredible video about Deadlock, critiquing certain aspects of it that felt like one of his old TF2 videos. So I don't know. Like, I think Deadlock has a good future in front of it as long as Valve is willing to stick with it. And I really feel like Yoshi, whom I assume is Ice Frog, is wanting to stick with it. The team is kicking ass. If you're in the game, which is super easy to get, just ask a person who's already in to just invite you on their friends list. I will be making a video soon about like, hey, if you don't have it, help like use the comment section to be able to get in, or just send me trading cards and I'll try and add you. But Deadlock's great. Really, really good. It like broke 100,000 players on Steam and it's not even properly announced yet. I have a feeling that this like closed alpha invite only secret society club thing was an incredible move from Valve. And it's the kind of move that only Valve could do because of how mysterious they are. I feel like Rockstar could do it. id Software could do it. Maybe Riot maybe could do it. Very few companies could pull something like that off. If it was an accident, they definitely started like leaning into it. If it was the plan the whole time, whoever came up with that should be given a raise, given more stock options. They're a genius. So that is your answer to the long ass answer about TF2. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Pacific Productions $5. Not gonna lie, my headcanon with Barney is that the train either derailed and he died, or he died some other way off screen. If I find out that Barney is dead and they just tell me unceremoniously, I am going to da 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 da. Dun 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 da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da, da. That's what I would do. I think that's the most safe, roundabout, still monetized way of saying that. Oh my god. There's so many to get through. What the fuck? Period 2 euros. Israel equal combine agree? I don't think any real world political shit that is going on in 2024 is what Mark Laidlaw had in mind when writing the canon for Half-Life in like 2002. So probably not, but okay. What a fucking question that is. I'm afraid. I mean, free Palestine. Fuck that. Yeah, I'm definitely on the side of the Palestinians. Fuck that. How many viewers am I gonna lose for saying that? Parker Dillon, I hate getting political because I have in the past, and what happened afterwards. People tried to kill me, and I lost. Like, people hacked my back. It got bad. But no, I don't think Mark Laidlaw meant the Combine to be an allegory for Israel in the Israel-Palestine situation. No, I don't think so. Thanks for the €2. Parker Dillon, just got off work, gonna watch the VOD. Hope stream's been well. It's been going great. Thanks so much. Probably my most successful one ever. If every Valve game was a real person, which one would you fuck, marry, kill? What the hell kind of question is that? What kind of question is that? If every Valve game was a person, who would I fuck, marry, kill? Okay, first of all, I am married to a beautiful woman named Electra. She's the best. So in this hypothetical, I never fell in love with my soulmate. And I mean no disrespect to my wife in answering this dumb shit question from one of my closest online friends. Dylan goes back to the Fountain Drink crew. Shoutouts Dave. Shoutouts Shadoing Doing. Let's real quick just pull this up, just so I can show off, brag a bit. This is my wife. Everybody say hi to Electra. I'm serenading her on the saxophone at my wedding. And now you're going to look at that through the entire question. Okay. Look at how fat I am. God damn. All right. Who would I fuck, marry, kill if all the Valve games were people? Oh God, my mom is watching right now? Is my mom watching? Oh no. I can't do FMK if my mom's watching. Shit. Okay, okay. Let me think about this. I would marry Portal 1. I would marry Portal 1. I would kill Dota 2. I would fuck TF2 because I know it would be great, but they would be a very toxic partner. There you go. Does that satiate the hunger? Is that a good answer? I feel like TF2 would be a crazy one-night stand, but would be the worst partner. Like suck your soul dry kind of shit. But then just awful. Just absolutely awful. All right. Portal 1 is perfect. Portal 1 is the perfect video game. So, there you go. And say goodbye to Lek. Okay. Next question. I think actually this is pertinent. Hold on. Hold on.
Come, Doctor! Get on my new weapon!
It's beautiful.
It is a good day to be giant man.
Get behind me!
Let us begin!
Jawohl, now go!
Yes!
Ah, yes, tingling. Oh,
This is nice.
oh, wunderbar.
Oh, yes. Very good. Very, very good.
I am full of you.
Ah, so feeling.
Gott in Himmel, it's wonderful.
I feel bigger.
There you go. That's real. That's literally just taking real shit from the game and just editing it together. That's a mic spam that I've heard numerous times on like a trade Minecraft server back in the day, you know. All right, let's have a palate cleanser with the best mic spam. We'll do the best mic spam one now.
You and me, hoss. Sentry, go, damn it, cut the
There you go.
gear. This thing ain't on and off.
Just forget what just happened.
Hold it, stop. Don't touch that sentry. Damn it, cut the move that gear. That's why I ain't on our gear. Get down. Damn it, cut the move that gear. Sentry, go,
There you go.
Damn it, cut the move that gear. This thing ain't on an autopilot. Damn it, cut the move that gear. Hold it, stop. Don't touch that sentry. Damn it, cut the move that gear. That's why I ain't on our gear. Get down. Damn it, cut the move that gear. Get down. Damn it, cut the move that gear. Get down. Damn it, cut the move that gear. Get down. Damn it, cut the move that gear.
Okay. Do we feel better? We feel cleansed? Do we just get an enema? We just you know? We good? All right. We get an enema. What's wrong with me, man? All right. That video is 14 years old, by the way. We're all gonna die. All right. God, what the fuck is this answer? Okay, so the last thing I did was P. Dillon's. Shoutouts, Diamond Dylan. You made me do FMK with Valve Games, so I'm gonna tell people you used to have a Minecraft YouTube channel and you called yourself Diamond Dylan. There you go. Now we're even. All right, Corn Cube. Corn Cube is my biggest patron, by the way. Corn Cube gives me like $33.33 a month on Patreon, which means you were charged that today, and you're giving me another $3.33, Corn Cube. You don't have to keep giving me money. I appreciate you. Thank you. VCOG with the $5. In the same vein as Higara, thank you. Longtime viewer, first-time super chatter. For years, you have provided quality information and entertainment. Again, I want to stress, I am completely open to criticism. I am not perfect or gospel or the truth or whatever. I am a dumbass and I can be an asshole. I can have an ego and I can be very jaded and mean sometimes. I am growing as I age and trying to be a better person, trying to be more professional or, well, not professional. I'm never going to be professional. Fuck, shit, piss, cum. Come! But you know what I mean. So, thank you. Hearing that kind of stuff, it honestly means the world, man. It really does mean a lot. Dr. Zed with the VCOG. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Dr. Zed with the €2. Pick up that can. Now put it in the trash can. Dead Tech Logic, $10 just got here, Tyler. What do you know more about HLX? My thoughts is that it's Half-Life Zen and not Half-Life 3. Are we going to reveal this year or next? Okay, Dead Tech Logic, here's the deal. The VOD for this, the DVR on this stream is open. I have answered this question about 3 times now. This video will stay on the YouTube channel. You can watch it. I'm sure someone will find the timestamp for you. I don't want to go over everything again, but what I will say is, yes, Zen is a heavy part of HLX. Yes, it could be called Half-Life Zen, but this is the next major Half-Life game telling the story of Gordon Freeman, which is Half-Life 3. And if they have the spine, they will call it that. Thank you for the $10. This entire stream has been super chats, by the way. This has never happened. This is insane. Like, thank you so much. This is absolutely insanity. I do not deserve this. Thank you. Seriously. Thank you. Okay. Rye Bread Rocks. $4.99 US. Another question. How do you think the Steam Deck could affect HL3's development? I would imagine they would really want it to be able to run. Yep. So when somebody asks me, will it be like photorealistic or whatever? No, it'll look like Half-Life Alyx. It'll be that art style. Because that art style was developed to be very high resolution, very pretty to look at when under very close scrutiny because you're in VR, but is performant, right? And yes, well, they will definitely want it to be able to run on the deck. It's like their thing. And I'm going to be honest. I said this last month and I stand by it. I have been playing Dead Cells on my Steam Deck multiple times a day for the last like 3 weeks. Before that, I was playing, what's that game called? Halls of Torment? It's like a Vampire Survivor-esque game, but it's better than Vampire Survivor. I played Balatro. I've been playing Yakuza Like a Dragon. A Deadlock update. Halls of Torment. That game is fucking sick, and it's like $2. It is $5. Go buy Halls of Torment. I'm not kidding. That game fucking slaps. But I am on my Steam Deck every day. If you're on my friends list, which I currently have 1,000 friends, because I've been doing this thing where people have been sending me trade offers, which on my Twitch page, it's !trade in the chat to get my trade link. But people have been sending me trade offers of their Steam trading cards so that I can build badges so that I can add as many people as possible to my friends list so that I can invite as many people as I can. So at this point, I've invited 1,000 people to Deadlock, and I will invite 1,000 more if I can build 10,000 badges. Like, I hate how limited the friends list on Steam is and how much money you have to put in to like expand your friends list. But I'm trying to expand it as much as I possibly can. So if you want to help out with that, help me get as many people into Deadlock as possible. That I just put the trade link in the chat. If you want to send me some trading cards, that would be super helpful towards that goal. Anywho, what was the last thing that I was asked? Oh yeah, the deck. Yeah, so the Steam Deck is the best, and I think that they absolutely would want any project that they create to run well on the hardware, you know? Deadlock doesn't currently work on it, but of course it's going to eventually, you know? I mean, you can patch it to work pretty easily, but it's not officially supported just yet. That's fine. The game's still in alpha. It's whatever. Stelio Raider with the 50 ARS. Comic issue 7? Now that's wild. I need to check back. Thanks for answering. Nice to see some story lore stuff from Valve. Absolutely. What's the source on the comic? That's the question from Adam Croucher. $1.99. Those in pounds. Eric Wolpaw, writer. Eric Wolpaw and Jay Pinkerton, the writers of the comics, said so publicly. Go look it up. Mr. K7, £5 sterling. What characters are complete in Deadlock and which ones do you think need work/will be removed? I don't think any of them will be removed outright. I think every character is in different stages of completeness, whereas some of them are mechanically sound but needs entirely visual reworks like Yamato and Bebop. I think some of them are thematically sound but need some mechanical reworks like Abrams and Dynamo. And then I think some of them are just in the middle. Like Viscus is still using its Neon like Viscus is not a new hero. All of the heroes that they've been introducing were in Neon Prime. Shiv, Holiday, and Viscus were in Neon Prime. Viscus has a different physical model that's unfinished that fits more within Deadlock. Because Viscus right now just looks like it's a guy wearing a spacesuit, right? Like I think that's the body of Viscus is Kelvin's Neon Prime body. A lot of the art needs work. Would any of them get removed outright? Maybe like Pocket and Wraith could be like merged, maybe. Abrams, Bebop, Dynamo, Great Talon, Hayes. Yeah, Hayes and Wraith, I feel like possibly could be mixed together because, as Star pointed out, Wraith and Hayes are both bullet-based and heroes, but in the late game, bullets are like completely useless. You know what I mean? So there's Abrams, Bebop, and Dynamo. You got Great Talon, Hayes, and Yamato. Hey, look, it's Ivy, Kelvin, and Infernus, Pocket, Lash, and look, McGinnis, Mo and Krill, Paradox, and here's 7, Vindicta, Wraith, and hey, look, there's Warden. Don't forget Lady, guys. And we'll wait for someone to complete that verse. That's how I remember all the heroes' names. We got a song about it. That every day that plays in your head and you sing it. Is that a Suno AI song? It's a UDO AI song. AI should not be seen as ownership under any circumstance until some government body adds legislation into the ownership of the training data. All AI-generated content should be seen as public domain and should not be monetized under any circumstance. That said, UDO is a very fun toy to play with. And I enjoy playing around with it. You know, it's not something that anybody should try and monetize. And I know people that are like creating shit in UDO and then throwing it up on Spotify and taking like the 2 cents that normal artists get for their shitty, you know, AI generated shit. I think AI is a fun tool, fun little toy. So like I've made dozens of AI generated songs in this UDO thing, right? And I'm doing it right now because I'm creating a cyberpunk mod that adds a radio station that's hosted by a guy who is contractually obligated to only play AI-generated music, but hates it, and is constantly fighting and bickering with the labels that send him this music, and will talk over it to, like, berate it and shit. But it's also, like, genuinely generated AI music, and it's like a commentary on it. Yeah. Suno is not better at all. UDO is far better. So this is the unofficial theme song to Deadlock that I made, or AI made, and I wrote the lyrics for. I'm gonna use this moment to pee. I'll be right back.
Valve's next game. Oh, what do we know? Oh, Deadlock is here.
This is entirely AI generated. Do not monetize AI shit.
What do we do? Try to keep track and we Abrams, Bebop, and Dynamo. We've got great talent, Hayes and Yamato. Hey, look, it's Ivy, Kelvin, and Infernus. Pocket Lash and Look McGinnis. Mo and Krill, Paradox, and here is Tevin. Dick to Wraith, and don't forget Warden. Don't forget Lady Guys. Oh, please drain me, money guys.
Yeah, so that's on my second channel, The Passionate Gamer, if you want to listen to it. It's unmonetized, so. But I enjoy making funny meme songs. So, like, I don't try and make serious music with this shit. That's stupid. Let real artists do that. But I will make shit like this.
It's Left 4 Dead, but instead of zombies, everyone be fucking. It's Left 4 Dead without zombies and everybody's getting down hard. It's Left 4 Dead, but instead of zombies, everyone be fucking. It's Left 4 Dead without zombies and everybody's getting down hard. Louis and Ellis were kissing when the alarms rang out from above. Stay indoors, don't go outside. The warning, it did shove. But now these two virgins have some chaos to overcome. Will they have time to keep kissing, or will these sex zombies give them some? The pills don't heal you, they just make all men hard. The bile bombs are gone, instead we throw cum in the yard. Pipe bombs are just porn and the boomers a model. The hospital's down to make room for the green bottle. A gentleman's club. It's Left 4 Dead, but instead of zombies, everyone be fucking. It's Left 4 Dead without zombies and everybody's getting down hard. Woo! I was a gooner, I was gooning too hard because I came here with no risk, cause I pulled up like kite, I said yes. I was yapping too hard because I made you pay the phantom tax, because I came round to pay the phantom tax. Decorated, it's a save my life, never felt such risk. It's a save my life, never felt such risk. Never felt such risk. My jet, where have you been? My jet, where did you go? My jet, what have you seen? My jet, you're such a gooner, like a gooner wrapped around like a skibbity toilet sick. Like a gooner wrapped around like a skibbity toilet sigma. 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 I wrapped around like a skibbity toilet sigma. I was a gooner, felt my brain rot kicking and my eyes go grim environment. Shake, skipped around like a gooner with no skip. He never felt this gap when not in Ohio. I said I was a goon, I was a stupid, jealous rizzler. I was a goddamn Sigma male. Like a gooner, yapped around like a skibbity toilet sick. Like a gooner, yapped around like a skibbity toilet Sigma. I yapped around like a skibbity toilet Sigma. I yapped around like a skibbity toilet Sigma. It's a Sigma life, never felt such risk. It's a Sigma life, never felt such risk. It's a Sigma life, never felt such risk. Never felt such risk, never felt such risk. It's a Sigma life, never felt such risk. Never felt such risk, never. I was wondering what.
Sorry, Electra just came home and I have to talk to her about some real life stuff, so it's auto playing. So give me a couple minutes.
I was wondering what's the recommended amount of dedicated when I should have to serve. I was wondering what's the recommended amount of dedicated when I should have to serve. In this line, my mind's a waste. Can't wait to get up to that place with my question, feeling small, but I gotta ask, gotta know it all, know it all. So here I go, it's almost time, gonna step up, make it wide, with my heart and all my might, ask my question in the light. On your bone. I was wondering what's the recommended amount of dedicated when I should have to serve. I was wondering what's the recommended amount of dedicated when I should have to serve. Thinking about the blocks and miles, all the bills and all the jobs. I just wanna make it right. Hope they help me out tonight.
I have salt kidney.
Did you know that's right?
The Constitution says you do, and so do I.
I'm almost done. I'm sorry. Just give me a couple more minutes. right. Sorry about that. We're back. I'm in the process of, well, I'm starting the process of moving, and it's, yeah. It's been, yeah. Okay, we're back. Okay. Once again, I would like to reiterate, under no circumstances should anybody monetize AI-generated content. AI-generated content should be seen as public domain until a legislating body is able to create some kind of limitations or laws on the books related to the scraped content used for training data. Do not, under any circumstances, use it in a like where the whole point of like you're just trying to make money off of it entirely. That's bullshit. You don't own it. No one owns it. It's just like super like complicated autocorrect bullshit. It's just for memes. It's fun. Otherwise, you're a dickhole. Sorry it took so long. There's a lot of stuff going on in my personal life. Anywho. Okay, the last question was from Miss Trek. Okay, what characters need work or removed? What's up with the CS2? No content at all. That's from Thorny. Hello. Hello. Thank you for being here. CS2, what's up with it? Well, I would wager a guess that some of the teams working on Deadlock instead of CS2. And I'd also wager a guess that far too much confidence was put into the port upon its launch. And so the majority of the time spent during its release has been trying to fix the game to be in quality parity with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Content-wise, you're looking at another year to maybe even 2 years before CS2 really starts like making new content, which is it's a failure, right? CS:GO was just better in almost every way, and unfortunately, we're in a position where every major update for CS2 is just reintroducing shit that Counter-Strike Global Offensive had. So I'm not really playing much of CS2 at all because I don't think the team is doing a very good job. And yeah, bring back Danger Zone. $5 from Jessica's Raw. You didn't say anything, but thank you. Corn Cube, any Deckard news? Everything that I have in terms of news on the Deckard is already in the video. If you want to have like the most up-to-date information and deep dives on the piece of hardware, I recommend going and checking out Sadly It's Bradley, SADLYITSBRADLEY, Sadly It's Bradley on YouTube. That dude is the foremost expert on the topic. Far more than me. All right, JKMARS 200. Love your stuff, Tyler. Was Barney ever mentioned for HLA? Very, very, very early development of Half-Life Alyx did have Barney and Isaac Kleiner in it. As far as I remember, there was a scene in a train car where you met and spoke with Barney. But that was like 2016, 2017 era. Do you think we'll get brand new characters or more Black Mesa? Yeah, probably. I would hope so. An adherence to like the old stuff or like a fear of introducing new stuff is something that I'm worried about. And I really hope that, how do I put it? I really hope that they're willing to experiment and take some risks with it. Zach Norris, $10. Tyler, what's your second favorite video game studio? Okay, in no particular order, my 5 favorite video game studios are CD Projekt Red, id Software, Arcane Studios, Valve Software, and fucking New Blood. There you go. Dingus the Wingus, £2. I feel cleansed. Hell yeah. The Potato God, how many holes are there in a straw? 1. That's $2 from you. Stinky Doodle, $2. Will it have multiplayer? God, I hope so. I feel like just like a traditional, old school deathmatch based in Source 2 with all the new bells and whistles would be fucking incredible. Will they do it? I don't know. From Jeremy, $10. Does anyone have the timestamp for when he talked about Half-Life Zen? Nope. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 6 minutes, and it's going to keep going until you guys stop fucking donating. Dingus the Wingus, £2. Oh, by the way, could you invite me to Deadlock if possible? You can try and add me on Steam, but my Steam friends list is full. The easiest way of you getting into Deadlock is by talking to somebody in chat who has access, or going into my Discord and asking for somebody that has access and just friending them on Steam. We got to get some kind of key tree going, you know, like we used to. Can you sing Baka Mitai? Okay. Dame dame, dame yo, dame damu yo. Are kara suki de tsuki sugite. Dore ga de imazarete yo. Bada de buda. Baka mitai. I feel like I deserve more than €2 for that, but there you go. Strangest Angel Girl, $1.99. How do you know something is Half-Life 3 and not using Half-Life as a base? Context, and a lot of conversations, and a lot of data mine. Just lots and lots and lots of work. There you go. How do I know? Like 10 hours a day for the last lifetime. Have I considered voice acting? Yes. Bro does not know the lyrics. I don't speak Japanese much. I know, like, the stuff that they say on Gaki no Tsukai. Like, Seikai no Happyo desu. Watashi wa tabeta no wa gum gum sausage dayo gozaimasen. What else do they say? They're all from Osaka, so they say a bunch of shit like "Nayane" all the time. So I mean, like, the dialect's not like traditional Tokyo or whatever. But yeah, I know very, very little Japanese. But Gaki no Tsukai is like my favorite television show. It's a shame that Matsumoto Hitoshi is a fucking creep. That one hurt. Usually I don't give a shit when it turns out a celebrity's a creep. Finding out Matsumoto Hitoshi was the bad one and not Hamada Masatoshi, like the 10 people that know what I'm talking about, that hurt. And I'm going to be honest, like, yes, he should not be on the show anymore. The dude is a fucking predator and he deserves all the consequences. The show is not as good. Gallo Tech Dog with 100 ARS. Hey Dad, can we get HL3 on our way home? No, we got Half-Life 3 on it. We got Half-Life 3 at home. It's called Half-Life Alyx. Dead Tech Logic, $2. Half-Life 2 10th anniversary. It's happening. Half-Life 2 did not come out in 2014. It came out in 2004. But yes, the Half-Life 2 20th anniversary is it's happening. Oh my god, somebody donated 1,000 ARS. I don't know how much that is. What is ARS? 1,000 ARS. ARS to USD. ARS is Argentinian peso. Okay, so 1,000 of that is it's $1. Oh. It's $1. It's $1. Okay. Well, I appreciate it. I thought it was more than $1. Oh shit, your economy must not be doing well, my man. I'm so sorry. Red means plus 100? Yeah, but it isn't. It's $1. I know red means plus 100. That's why I was like, what the fuck? Alright, I'm so sorry, man. That sucks. Didn't you guys switch to crypto or something, or was that a myth that I was fed by the media? It's $1. Well, I appreciate the dollar. I'll buy nothing at Taco Bell. Oh yeah, shout outs to Taco Bell for raising their prices again. My fat ass can't get a chalupa for less than $5. Lick my butt. I'm still gonna buy a chalupa. I still want a chalupa, but fuck you. All right. Yeah, but the 20th anniversary of Half-Life 2 is definitely gonna have something. They're preparing something. I don't know what it'll be. Royal Lizalfos, shout outs Legend of Zelda. Tears of the Kingdom is fucking awesome. Still playing it. Do you think they'll release an SDK for Deadlock and HLX? I think they'll definitely release mapping tools for Deadlock, yes. Deadlock has the ability for other game modes and maps. And in fact, in the code already, there's stuff for like control point, territorial control, and payload. And I feel like, the characters do lend themselves to other types of play than just like the normal MOBA 4 lanes creeps thing. I feel like you could very easily create like a TF2 Lite-esque experience with very simplistic stuff, but who knows. The game has the Deadlock has the capability to do a whole lot of other stuff than what you're currently seeing. There's already a modding community for Deadlock with unofficial tools, and people are like inserting the TF2 classes, recreating CS2 and TF2 maps, recreating different game modes. Really cool stuff is going to happen, and I absolutely foresee mod like a workshop and that kind of thing. Absolutely. Now, as for HLX, yes, but I feel like HLX would allow itself to have a full SDK instead of just tools. Like Half-Life Alyx and CS2, that's just tools. That's not a full development kit. I feel like HLX would be the best time to put out an SDK. Do I think they're going to? No fucking clue. That's just speculation. But I'd love to see it. 100 ARS. So I guess that's like, what, a penny? I keep seeing these 100 ARS things. That's... how... Are you guys really able to put in a super chat for a penny? Okay, so 100 ARS is 11 cents. Okay. Wow. ARS 1000. Imagine your kids become Valve nerds. If you're unlucky, they could also be Gabe... What? Gabe and son? What the you're saying that Lek's gonna have sex with Gabe Newell? Like, Lek has a chance. How long would it be until until how meta was their dad is also Tyler singing for Half-Life 3? What the fuck are you saying, man? I'm not gonna let my kids play any of Valve's titles until they're at least like 14 or 15. Are you serious? Like, nah. Nah. Yeah, okay. Lucia, €5.99. Given that HLX will continue past HLA from Gordon's point of view, do you that's, by the way, that's a guess. We don't have confirmation that that's exactly how it's going to happen. Do you believe / do you have any info on will it be the final game of the franchise? Valve is not one for finality. It might close up a lot of threads, but it'll definitely leave it open for a future thing. Like, Portal 2 wrapped it up pretty neatly in the single player, but then if you play the co-op, it's like, oh, wait, no, it didn't. Okay, wait. And now Eric Wolpaw has an idea for Portal 3 and wants to make it, which I think he might try and push for after HLX is done. So, I don't know. That's just me talking out my massive butthole. Our economy's really bad, yeah. Will Deadlock have a Battle Royale mode or Half-Life skins? Not anytime soon. I could totally see them doing... and like, it's really a free-for-all. Like, Deadlock is really cool in that the movement is fucking incredible. It's just as much skill action-based as it is, like, strategy MOBA-based, where the MOBA elements come from the map, but the characters you could easily, like, drop them into different scenarios. So, will they do Half-Life skins? Yeah, definitely. They do that for every one of their games. Will they do a Battle Royale? Probably not. They could, but I think you're more likely to see like a payload or a territorial control thing more so than a battle royale. But you will eventually see, at least they've been testing it, and they did for a long time, other game modes, other types of game modes. So who knows? Nickelodeon stuff with the $5. Your character, your is that a Bob's Burgers character? Is that Loud House character? Okay. Whatever happened to that one dude that leaked the HLA ending to you against your will in early 2020? No, it's my own fault. When you go digging for things, you start learning things that you shouldn't. So the spoilers, by the way. I'll do this when the spoilers are over. Ah! Okay? So you can mute me if you haven't played Half-Life Alyx. So what I was shown was the bit with the G-Man and pulling the mask off of the Combine Advisor, which was something they cut, right? So I was shown that. What I wasn't shown was the post-credit scene, right? That's why that one hit me like a freight train, you know? I weeped. Like, that hit me so hard. Jets, I'm gonna call you Jet Silver. Will Deadlock have a competitive gooning scene? Probably. I think give it some time and you'll see Deadlock kind of take the same position that Overwatch has been in for years, from a gooner perspective, you know. Like, there's a lot of people that'll see... I saw this one meme that was like, you know, my brother saw me playing Overwatch and saw Mercy and was like, wait, that's from a video game? Shoutouts to Valve for indirectly being responsible for the majority of the animated porn made in the last 10 years. Because they made the tools to do it. Did Valve know when they were making Source Filmmaker that it would be predominantly used for porn? Did they know that? I don't think they knew that. But it's funny that the game that Epic was creating, not Epic, Blizzard was creating to compete with TF2 would predominantly use Valve tools to create the gooning stuff from. You know? Isn't that a little ironic? I think it's a little ironic. Yeah. Most animations are made in Blender. Nowadays they are, yes. But the 2010s? No, that was SFM. That was almost entirely SFM. Oh yeah, shake the text. Woo! We're talking about porn. But it's funny because, like... Oh, I had something to say and I lost it. I had something to say and I lost it. Hold on. I was talking about porn. Talking about 3D porn. Oh, yeah. I don't get why Ivy is the Gooner's favorite. You know? Why Ivy? You got Wraith. You know? You got Lady Geist. You know? You got Kelvin. You know? You got Infernus. But we're going after Ivy? The fucking, like... You know? Like a little gargoyle? Alright. Okay. Correction, I was meant to say they had no interest, just like Gabe Newell's. Oh, yeah, okay, so what happens if my kids aren't interested in Valve stuff? That's more than likely going to happen. Valve doesn't seem to be connecting with Gen Alpha much at all, aside from Skibbity Toilet, which is kind of an indirect accident. So, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I don't think my kids are going to be, like, big fans. Yeah. This chat summary AI thing. Viewers are expressing excitement and discussing various aspects of the Half-Life series. What the fuck? $5 from Cap Spike. Do you think Deadlock will have a skin shop that I can whale out on the skins? Yeah, definitely. I don't know if they're going to do crates. You know, I think they're going to try their best to avoid creating a secondary gambling market for Deadlock. And I mean, Dota 2 has done a lot better in curbing the more problematic players, the more problematic like external, you know, the kinds of people that fit the saying where it's like, well, if there's a crack, water will find it. You know, if there's a way to make money, somebody will find it and abuse it. You know, so yes, I think absolutely, but in the same way that Artifact killed itself by not allowing player-to-player card trading, which they did to avoid gambling, they would have learned their lesson from that. But then again, they don't. I don't know. Yes, there will be skins that you can buy, probably done through battle passes in the same way that Dota 2 does it, or did it for a long time. Well, actually, the way Dota 2 does it now is very similar to how Gwent does it, where it's like a big map that you unlock over time. So, Deadlock SFM tools when Deadlock is out, like they actually release it, they'll put the tools out. The same thing happened with Counter-Strike 2. Unlike Counter-Strike 2, I think it's important that there aren't things that people need, like massive amounts of content that people need to port. So getting, you know, in the same way that Valve was like, okay, you can port your CSGO stuff to CS2 easily. There's no need for that. They're starting from scratch. So tools aren't going to be as important. And it's likely that tools will predominantly be used for skins and stuff. Whether or not they're willing to go a little bit more towards TF2 and allow other maps is up in the air. They have systems in place to allow for that, and they tested that already. You can see that in the game's files. I really hope they allow that, and it's not just going to be, you know, street test, the map that you play on now 100% of the time. So we'll have to see. $10 from Dead Tech Logic. If the Half-Life 2 20th anniversary is just going to be a game for free for a few days, I'm going to be mad. I can't think of a Half-Life 2 anniversary we'll have. I don't think it's going to be just the game for free. I think the game will go on sale. And I also think there's going to be something. You don't have a separate test branch of your game just to put the game out on sale or for free. Okay. We're caught up on the Super Chats. I can go to an email. And we have a fuck ton of emails, like way too many. And as I've said, we can't get to all of them. This is fucking impossible to get to all of them at this point. But, oh God. Okay, $5 Canadian. If you send a Super Chat, I answer your question immediately. I'm going to try and get through some of these emails. We've been streaming for 2.5 hours already. What sort of game outside of Valve's existing IPs or genres would you want them to make? I'd love an OSRS-styled MMO. OSRS-styled MMO. What is OSRS? Thanks for answering my meme question. I've answered this question many times in the past, and the answer will always be the same. I want to see a Half-Life 2 linear first-person shooter style video game where there are 9 mini campaigns, each about 2 to 3 hours long, that tell the stories of all of the TF2 mercs. It takes place in the Team Fortress universe. It's the Team Fortress, you know, gunplay and weaponry and aesthetic, but it's a single player, story driven, with lots of like meet the team styled, SFM styled scripted sequences and animations. It's like Half-Life 2, but it's Team Fortress. And there, instead of it being one long campaign, it's 9 smaller campaigns where you get to play as each of the classes, you know, in a campaign that best suits that style of gameplay, while also telling the stories, either like prequel stories or also stories like post TF2. That has always been my answer to that question. That has, like, I've been doing this for years. I get that question all the time. That has been my answer this entire time. That's what I want. So it'll never happen, but that is my dream Valve game. And the reason why I love that idea so much is because of the idea of, like, you know, in Half-Life 2, all the scripted sequences where the story happens around you. Well, the TF2 characters, like, you would be able to animate those in the same way that they're seen in the Source Filmmaker shorts because it's the same fucking engine. And so it's like you're playing the SFM shorts. You know what I mean? And it tells like a hardcore story. Like a real story, like a comic level story, but with the same humor and aesthetics and stuff. I dream about that game. I have dreams about that game. I would love to see that game before I died. It won't ever happen, but that is my dream game. First email of the day. Important Half-Life 3 question. Will you get to see Gorman Free Guy butt booty ass naked? Please answer. Yeah. Yes. IGN, PC Gamer, you can quote me on this. You will see Gordon Freeman's big shaft and testicles in the next major Half-Life game. You heard it here first, folks. Question for stream. Raise your words, not your voice, for it is the okay. Can you be my friend? I don't, maybe. When HLX/HL3 comes out, are you going to switch your name to Valve News Network? Or are you going to stay Tyler McVicker just like you did with Half-Life? I'm Tyler McVicker forever. Like, I'm not going back. I'm trying to do a non-Valve video in between every Valve video because I don't like being in that box. I understand that's my box. You know, that's the box I'm known for. That's my career. But I also love other shit, and I like having the opportunity to research other shit and learn about other shit and grow my interests. If I hadn't become Tyler McVicker, I wouldn't have fallen in love with The Witcher and Cyberpunk, you know? And Cyberpunk 2077 is one of my favorite games ever. And so my next video is a Cyberpunk 2077 mod list overview thing. I've been working on a mod list every day since the last video came out. And currently it's working really well. I'm currently I'm working on like, you know, adjusting config files within all the mods so that they're balanced amongst themselves. But we're at 387 mods so far in this list. And it'll be an easy install. It'll be one-click install if you have Nexus Premium. But if you don't, it's going to be installed through Wabbajack because I use Mod Organizer 2. I don't like Vortex much at all. I like Mod Organizer 2's like, what's it called? Like virtual folder system. And if you use a plugin called Root Builder, you can easily you can build Cyberpunk mod lists like that. I love Cyberpunk 2077 so fucking much. I love it so much. Cyberpunk 2077 is such a good game. And, you know, I would love to be able to continue to expand my horizons and interests and stuff. If I hadn't switched from Valve News Network, I wouldn't have met and become very good friends with Hugo Martin, you know? I wouldn't have recorded 2-hour-long interviews with every single person that works at New Blood and then never release any of them. Because I'm embarrassed, because I don't think I'm good enough to do that. But yeah, I know people know me as Valve News Network. I know that that's going to stick with me for my whole life. That's fine. But I'm Tyler McVicker. That's my name. And I do more than just Valve stuff. And I do like now that I've been Tyler McVicker long enough that when other places report on me, like I've been on Game Linked twice. Shout outs Linus and Riley. There's like Valve leaker extraordinaire Tyler McVicker, you know. I love that they're calling me by my name and not Valve News Network because it's like I'm actually getting the credit. $4.99 from Tekya Animator. What would you say the Valve look that people mention when talking about Valve's visual style? What would you say is the Valve look? It's different for every game. Like Half-Life Alyx doesn't look like Counter-Strike 2. Deadlock kind of looks like Half-Life Alyx, but that's mostly just because of recycled assets. I don't think Valve has a look. I think Valve's visual style only exists to lend itself to the gameplay. You know? If that makes any sense. Like, TF2 looks like that for identification of class. And I guess Half-Life Alyx and cartoon realism. Yeah, I agree with that. HL3 Q&A, do we have any clues or premises about the plot of the game? You go to the border world, Zen, and the Combine are there. Will HL3, HLX release on consoles like previous Half-Life games? There is no way to know. If Half-Life Alyx, if HLX could be Half-Life 3, then do you think it's the final game in the series? No. Okay, good. We've answered most of these questions. That means I'm not wasting everybody's time. What will release first? Half-Life 3 or the Deckard? Half-Life 3. Congratulations on getting married and your video's blowing up. Thank you. Do you think the basic gameplay loop of HLX will resemble Half-Life 2 and 1, or will diverge from it? Are any features from Left 4 Dead 3 and the cancelled Half-Life 3 iteration seem to be recycled? Yeah, procedural generation, basic quest systems, and open levels, but not open world. However, it's still very much linear. You have like 1,000 weapons. It's telling a scripted story, doesn't take control away from the player. Yeah. Given Valve's history of innovation with titles like Half-Life Portal and their work in VR, what kind of groundbreaking features or technology? We've answered that. Voxel-based destruction, procedural generation. How do you differentiate before legitimate data and red herrings when data mining? Context, historical context, so you keep notes on every single thing you've data mined prior. You consult trusted sources on the things that you have found. And I guess a little bit of intuition, you know? But then again, you could, like, I make mistakes. Like, I'm not right. I'm right like 65 to 70% of the time. If you could speak directly to the Valve team, the team at Valve right now, and could ask one thing about the leaks, what would you ask? What's your internal ETA for HLX's release? That's what I would ask. Will Wallace Breen appear in the sequel to Half-Life? No clue. Given the data mine suggests HLX could be an open world game, we've already talked about this. It's not, or at least have open world elements. Again, no, but okay. Could it be more of an open world RPG spin-off akin to Fallout or Cyberpunk? No, it's a direct sequel to Half-Life 2. I'd love to see that, but it's not. First off, congratulations on your wedding. I wish you and your wife the wonderful years together. Thank you. I've followed you for a good while now, and I'm delighted to see you're in a much better place in life. Almost. Is there any particular reason why Valve dropped the Half-Life universe setting for the Citadel Neon Prime? Well, it's possible that the Half-Life universe was used for testing, and they dropped it when they did Neon Prime in the first place, and it was never intended to be a Half-Life game to begin with, but all of the information because of that testing period pointed towards it being Half-Life. Also, they called it Citadel. I imagine that maybe they felt releasing a Half-Life connected MOBA in between the... Yeah, absolutely. They also had Left 4 Dead elements in it as well. It was Team Coach versus Team Nick for a while. €5 from Dr. Hacks. Are you familiar with Code Lyoko? Two original authors plan to bring it back, but they need a company to buy the franchise. I am familiar with Code Lyoko. I used to watch it on TV. I had a friend who was far more into it. Electra's brother, for example, was far more into it. It's cool the original authors are going to bring it back, but if a company doesn't want it, they're probably not going to be able to do it. That's too bad. Thank you for the €5. God, my voice hurts. I don't know how much more of this I can do today. How can you be so sure it's Half-Life 3? We've talked about this. Hey, Tyler, I doubt you know too much about it, but any guesses about what the new Half-Life VR game is? No, not at all. We don't even have it confirmed that it's true. We just know that a game is being developed for the Deckard. Hi, Tyler. Huge fan from Brazil. My name is Phoenix, and I have one question about Half-Life 3. After Laidlaw leaked he didn't leak it. He got permission. Or he, made it legally distinct so that he could release it. Do you believe that Valve did the ending from Alex to change the story, or do you believe they did a great job? I think Laidlaw had an idea for the ending, but never had the opportunity to execute on that idea, and then moved past and grew and matured past Valve and the Half-Life franchise. And then I think Eric Wolpott had a crazy idea for the ending of Half-Life Alyx, because for the longest time, the ending sucked. It was like, okay, you rescued the G-Man. Congratulations. And then before that, it was, oh, you killed Han. Congratulations. And it was bad. Still, my dream leak is to be able to have the final playable build of the pre-rewrite Half-Life Alyx, where it was like Han and the Combine sympathizers and all that shit. It was reportedly a terrible story, but it was reportedly also feature complete. I want to play that shit so bad. Is something like VAC for deadlock in development? I'm scared. Yes, I'm sure there is. But again, the game is in alpha. It's invite only. It's fine. Do you have any knowledge on whether HLX will follow a plot surrounding... I know nothing about the story. Are you really sure that HLX is Half-Life 3? Yep. Okay, it's mostly just the same questions. Alright. Alright, I'm going to start wrapping it up. It was 2 hours, 40 minutes. I think we had a good show. I will see you next month. My next video should be a Cyberpunk mod list thing, and then the video after that should be about the history of Team Fortress. And then the video after that, I don't know. But then the video after that will be more Half-Life HLX, Half-Life 3 shit. So, yep. Can I recap? No, my voice hurts, man. We've been doing this for 2 hours and 40 minutes. No way I can recap everything. I apologize. I just want to play video games for a while now, if that's okay with you guys. I apologize if I didn't get to your question. I know we didn't get to the majority of the email questions, but y'all were generous today. Y'all helped me more than you could imagine. And, yeah, thank you so much. I'll be back to work tomorrow. And we're going to be streaming more through September. I know we streamed like twice in August, but, you know, I was very busy getting back into the swing of things and making videos. But the Half-Life 3 waiting room series of streams, which will be just a marathon of all the Half-Life games and shit, that's going to be starting this month. But in the same way that every other video is non-Valve, every other stream is also going to be non-Valve. Okay? Because I'm not Valve News Network, I'm Tyler McVicker, and my other videos are good. Go watch that Doom video I made. It's fucking fire. Love you guys. Peace and hair grease. I'm Tyler McVicker, the Passionate Gamer. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to follow everything that I do, talk about stuff, just see what I'm up to, my Discord invite link should be posted by somebody in the chat, hopefully one of the moderators. Or if you just want to see what I am up to, keep up to date on just me, my X profile should also be somewhere. If you want to support these videos and streams, get your name in the credits, get to watch them early, my Patreon and Floatplane are both available to be supported. Once again, I'm Tyler McVicker, the Passionate Gamer. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace and hair grease. Adios.